ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside Wally Post Gymnasium at Sterling High School for the opening round of the 3A State Basketball Tournament. I'm Chris Bulbrom, glad to have you along on this Friday night as the Sterling Tigers, for the 10th year in a row, find themselves in the opening round of the 3A State Tournament. Every year since making the transition from 4A down to 3A, Mike Holloway and his boys have been here in the round of 32, trying to make it 9-1 in those 10 years in this opening game of the tournament bracket. Our pregame show is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. You're on the go, so why not bank on the go? Find out about their mobile banking app at equitable-savings.com. Equitable Savings and Loan, member FDIC. Today, Sterling, the number 2 seed in this 3A classification, will welcome in the 31 seed Prospect Ridge Academy as these two teams square off for the first time ever in their program's histories. Sterling has seen Prospect Ridge Academy in a handful of other sports over the course of the last few years, but this is the first time the boys basketball programs will square off against one another. At this point, win you move on, lose you go home until we get to next Friday when we get to the semifinal matchups. If you lose that game, then you play in the third place game on Saturday, the final day of the 3A state tournament. But other than that, up to Friday night, it's win you move on, lose you go home, and Sterling trying to punch their ticket to the Sweet 16 for the 9th time in the last 10 years. Just one time have they not made it out of this round of 32, and that came all the way back in 2015, I believe, was the last time Sterling did not make it out of the round of 32. Our postseason matchup brought to you by Buckeye Welding Supply, Colorado's largest inventory of welding equipment and supplies. If they don't have what you need, they'll find a way to get it to you quickly. See them at 330 South 11th Avenue in Sterling. As we mentioned, Tigers, the number 2 seed in this 3A classification. They were sitting at number 1 in the RPI, and even with their win in the district tournament over the Resurrection Christian Cougars last weekend, fell one spot behind St. Mary's, who nabbed the number 1 seed in this state tournament, and they finished one spot above the undefeated Aspen team. The Aspen Skiers, one of the top teams in this 3A classification, who Sterling will end up seeing, if all things play out accordingly, in the semifinals on Friday evening at the University of Denver. Aspen, one of the best teams defensively, but it's worth noting, of the top 10 teams in the 3A classification going into last weekend, 5 of those top 10 teams had a per game points allowed average of about 40 points. They had all allowed less than 1,000 points this season, Sterling being one of those top 10 teams that allowed less than 1,000 points. They've still allowed less than 1,000 points, sitting at an even 900. For the Prospect Ridge Academy Miners, this is their first ever appearance in the regional round of the state tournament. They've been a program since 2017. This is the first time since 2017 they've finished above 500. And again, it's the first time they've ever made it to a regional portion of the tournament. As the number 31 seed, they will be taking on a team that has a long-standing postseason tradition here in the Sterling Tigers. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you set for the opening tip as the Tigers and the Miners square off on 105.7 KPMX and Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back inside Wally Post Gymnasium at Sterling High School as we get set for the start of this opening round showdown between number 2 Sterling and number 31 Prospect Ridge Academy. Our keys to the contest in this one focus on a couple of key factors. For Sterling, we know that as Jackson Kyle goes, so go the Sterling Tigers. But perhaps they've maybe shaken that mantra a little bit. Sterling was up by 2 points against the Resurrection Christian Cougars in the Patriot District Championship last Saturday, despite the fact that Jackson Kyle was scoreless. He was 0 for 1 from the floor with just a couple of rebounds. Now, Jackson did finish with 16 points in the contest, all of them coming in the second half. But Sterling was able to take the lead with their best scorer sitting on the bench for 7 minutes. And I think that instills a lot of confidence in this program to realize that, hey, we can be a competitive winning basketball team even when Jackson Kyle and even Ryder McConnell are not at their best. And I think that's going to be huge for Sterling going into these final 5 games that they potentially could be a part of, knowing that, hey, even if our best guys aren't at their best, we still have the ability to be competitive, to hang tight, and put together a winning program. For the Prospect Ridge Academy Miners, this is a battle-tested team. Yes, they're a 31 seed, but they're 11-9 on the year. They finished 7-3 in the Metro League and defeated teams like Manual during the regular season, defeated teams like Kent Denver during the regular season. Now, they ended up losing to Manual and Kent both in the Metro District tournament. But this is a team that has put together a pretty solid season. They've got 3 guys scoring in double figures, and they are battle-tested. 13 of their 20 games this year have been decided by 9 points or fewer, and 3 of those games have gone to overtime. Now, granted, of those 3 overtime games, they've lost all 3. So they are a team that has been in some tight ball games. They're a team that has had to battle in some tight ball games. And when it comes postseason time, sometimes that little bit of battle-tested experience can give you a slight advantage. So we'll see how this one plays out when we come back. Sterling and Prospect Ridge Academy tipping off in the opening round of the 3A state tournament from Wally Post Gymnasium on 105.7 KPMX and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We welcome you back to Wally Post Gymnasium for the start of tonight's contest. Let's meet our starting lineups, brought to you by Northeastern. Preview days for fall 2022 are happening now. Don't miss out on the chance to better yourself through a high-quality education right here at home. Log on to njc.edu to find an upcoming preview day for you. For the visiting Prospect Ridge Academy Miners, their starting five will feature a 6'1 junior captain number 1, Max Vaco, a 6'5 junior wearing number 4, Alec Hrivnak, a 6'3 senior captain number 23, Andrew Kuss, a 6'2 junior wearing number 24, David Agbasi, and a 6 foot senior wearing number 30, Nathaniel Estrada. For the Sterling Tigers, their starting five looks awfully familiar. Brace Swenson is a 6'3 senior wearing number 1. Ben Browning, a 5'10 junior, wears number 11. Dylan DiOrio, a 6'4 senior, wears number 12. Jackson Kyle is a 6'2 senior, he wears number 15. And Ryder McConnell, a 6'2 junior, wearing number 22. Prospect Ridge Academy will be wearing their yellow tops and yellow shorts trimmed in royal blue. The Sterling Tigers in their home whites, tops and shorts trimmed in orange. As you heard me mention, 6'1", 6'5", 6'3", 6'2", 6'0", the starting five on the floor for Prospect Ridge Academy. They've got some pretty quality size to match up against the Tigers at 6'3", 5'10", 6'4", 6'2", and 6'2". But I guarantee you Prospect Ridge Academy has not seen a team that plays the kind of lockdown defense that the Sterling Tigers do under head coach Mike Holloway. Both teams have been announced. They've taken to the floor, and we're ready for our opening tip, brought to you by First National Bank in Fleming. Be certain in your finances. And be certain in the easy for me to say, financial management team at First National Bank in Fleming, member FDIC. It's going to be one of those nights. Dylan DiOrio will take to the circle. David Agbasi will flank him on the left side of the half-court marker. Tigers will go right to left on your dial. The Miners will go left to right. And we're ready to get this one underway. The official signaling both sides ready to go. There's the whistle. There's the toss, and the Tigers win the opening tip as Jackson Kyle will walk it up the floor for Sterling. Kyle on the far side for DiOrio, into the corner now for Browning. Browning back up top now for McConnell. McConnell looks to the left, now back to the right as he finds Browning. Browning into the corner for Dylan DiOrio. DiOrio up top, bounces it to McConnell, fakes the three, tries to drive inside, nothing there, gets it off to McConnell. McConnell around on the near wing now for Kyle. Kyle pulls up from the keyhole, kicks it near wing. Browning for three, off the heel of the rim, fight for the rebound. Dylan DiOrio tiptoes along the baseline, and he hands it off to McConnell in the front court. McConnell with the give to Brace Swenson, back on the near wing now for DiOrio. DiOrio driving into the paint underneath, scoops it up and in. Dylan DiOrio with the first bucket of the contest for the Tigers, and they lead it 2-0 here early on. On the near wing now is Andrew Kuss, into the corner. He'll find Hrivnak. Hrivnak with the give on the wing to Agbasi. Agbasi back on the wing near side for Kuss. Kuss hands it off to Estrada. Estrada with the give up top for Vaco. Vaco driving inside, has the ball swatted away. Dylan DiOrio comes away with the steal. Dylan gets his first steal of the contest. Feeds it to Jackson, who drives inside, strong to the hoop, kisses it off the window, and in for a pair. 4-0 Sterling, 6:43 on the clock. In the near wing now is Hrivnak. He'll sling it up top for Agbasi. On the far side now, hands it off to Kuss. Kuss up top for Vaco. Vaco's three is off the mark. Rebound pulled down by DiOrio. DiOrio up the floor, finds Jackson Kyle. Kyle across the timeline, feeds it into the paint for DiOrio, who tries to bounce it outside to Browning and has the ball swatted away and taken away by Vaco. Vaco with the give inside to Agbasi. Agbasi bounces off DiOrio and puts one off the glass too far to the right. Jackson Kyle has the rebound for the Tigers. In the near corner is Browning. He drives baseline, kicks it out far side. DiOrio for three. Off to the right it goes. Rebound is controlled by Nathaniel Estrada. Estrada quickly up the floor for the Miners. He'll hand it off to Agbasi, who dumps it in the corner for Vaco. Vaco drives baseline, goes underneath, has his shot blocked by Ryder McConnell, and the rebound is controlled by Jackson Kyle. Kyle up the floor, drives inside, scoops another one off the window and home. Jackson Kyle's got 4 points in the contest. And the Tigers find themselves in front 6-0 with 5.5 to go in the first quarter. On the far wing, Hrivnak drives baseline. Reverse scoop is too strong off the glass. Jackson Kyle battling for the board. He's got his third. Up the floor, Browning on the near side, spins around the defender, and a travel violation called on Browning as he made a nifty move to get around the defender on the baseline, but took one step too many with that pivot foot. Picked it up, put it down, and for the second time this quarter, Tigers commit the turnover. Vaco hands it off to Agbasi, who tries to drive left side of the lane, bangs off of Diorio, puts one up. It's well short. Bray Swenson's got the rebound. Agbasi 0 for 2 from the floor. Jackson Kyle on the wing near side, into the corner for Browning. Back up top for Diorio. Far side, Swenson from the 10-foot line, hands it off Browning up top. On the near wing now for Diorio. Feeds it to the free throw line for Ryder McConnell, but a off-ball foul called on Ben Browning, an illegal screen on Browning. Tigers commit their third turnover of the quarter. But they lead at 6-0 with 4:48 to go here in the first. Ball triggered into Vaco. Max Vaco, the captain, hands it off on the near wing now for Hrivnak. Hrivnak trapped on the free throw line by Swenson. He'll just fling one up off the front iron. Dylan Diorio will find the rebound. Hrivnak's 0 for 2 from the floor. Jackson at the top of the key, pulls up from 20. It rattles around. Controlled tip into the hands of Bray Swenson. Back to Jackson up top again. This time he knocks it down. Jackson Kyle, off the fourth rebound of the contest from Dylan Diorio, makes it 9-0 Sterling with 4:15 on the clock. Vaco with the handoff to Andrew Kuss, his fellow captain. Gives it to Agbasi. Agbasi back to Vaco at the top of the key. Vaco drives inside, spins around McConnell, and is able to loop one up and in and get the time out called by the Miners. After the made bucket by Max Vaco, the Miners burn their first timeout, a 30-second timeout with 4:01 to go here in the first. Tigers up 9-2. Eastern Colorado is a way of life, providing credit and related services to farmers and ag producers for more than 100 years. Visit PremierACA.com and let Premier Farm Credit go to work for you. Starting five back on the floor for the Tigers. Subs in now for Prospect Ridge as we see Stockton Rhodes and Hunter Love both take to the floor, replacing Alec Hrivnak and Nathaniel Estrada, respectively. Jackson Kyle from the baseline bounces it into Ryder McConnell, who walks it up the floor. Western Engineering Consultants has pride in building their communities. Go to westerneci.com to get your next project started today. On the far wing, McConnell. Guarded by Vaco, up top for Swenson. Swenson had an opening instead. He'll hand it off to McConnell from 22, knocks it down. Big three by Ryder McConnell. Tigers by 10, up 12-2. Down to 3.5 to play here in the first. Handoff on the wing to Agbasi. Agbasi far side finds Hunter Love. Love gets a screen from Agbasi. Fakes the three, dishes at far wing now for Kuss. Kuss will bounce it to Vaco, who runs point. The junior point guard with the give back to Kuss, who hands it to Agbasi and then sets the screen. Nothing going for Agbasi at the free throw line. He'll hand it off to Love. Love just to the left of the keyhole, goes back between the circles now for Andrew Kuss. The 6'3 senior moving to his right. Baseball pass into the chest of Hunter Love, and Love picked up the pivot foot, put it on the floor before putting the basketball on the floor. Second turnover of the quarter on Prospect Ridge. 12-2 Sterling. We're down to 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Jackson Kyle across the timeline for Sterling as he walks right up the center of the floor. On the near wing now for Browning, into the corner, Bray Swenson for three. It rattles in and out. Ben goes up, gets the rebound, finds Swenson up top for McConnell. McConnell drives and kicks out. Bray trying three again. That one's off the mark, and the rebound is fought for and won by Stockton Rhodes. Ben Browning, for a guy his size, plays much bigger as Agbasi drives into the lane. Shoulder into Dylan Diorio, no go there. Rebound again pulled down by Dylan. That's his fifth. David Agbasi has yet to find the bucket so far in this one. Jackson Kyle with a couple of stutter steps on the near side now for Swenson. Tigers go around the perimeter and hand it off to Browning. Moving to his left, he'll dump it off to Diorio. Up top for Jackson. In the keyhole, step back three to Browning. It's off the mark. Rebound is owned by Andrew Kuss. Up the floor comes Kuss. He'll fly into the lane, rattles off of Jackson Kyle, and he commits the travel violation. Third turnover of the quarter for Prospect Ridge, and we're going to get a sub in as Radek McCracken replaces Bray Swenson on the floor. For over 30 years, Coons Pump and Well Supply has offered the kind of services you can only get from a family-owned company. For all your watering needs, call 970-522-2035. Vaco replaced by Nathaniel Estrada on the floor. Jackson Kyle brings it across the timeline. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first. Tigers lead at 12-2. Diorio at the top of the key, bounces it into the paint to McConnell. Flings it far corner. Browning for three. It swirls the bowl. And a foul called on the rebound. Foul is on number 30, Nathaniel Estrada, his first, team's first. Tigers will have possession with 1:47 to go. Ben Browning 0 for 3 from beyond the arc so far in this one. Diorio's got to get rid of the basketball, does underneath. Jackson Kyle goes high off the window and in for two. Jackson Kyle is a perfect 3 for 3 from inside the arc here in the opening quarter. 1:37 on the clock. Tigers up 14-2. On the near wing, Estrada hands it off to Love. Love guarded closely by McCracken. Dumps it in the corner now, near side for Cuss. Cuss will drive on the elbow, nowhere to go with it, so up top for Agbasi. Agbasi back to Estrada on the near wing now with the give to Rhodes. Rhodes slings it far side on the wing to Love, back to Cuss, just to the right of the top of the key. Miners playing catch around the perimeter just outside the arc, off of the left and right wings respectively. Cuss will take the feed near wing, three off the mark. Dylan Diorio goes up and gets rebound number 6. Jackson Kyle driving. Left side on the wing, nothing there. Diorio will take it, then back to Jackson it goes. Jackson, nice sidestep as he drives baseline and puts another one up and in. Jackson Kyle has 11 points in the quarter, and the Tigers lead at 16-2. Hunter Love throws his backside into Radek McCracken and finds Estrada at the top of the key. Around to Cuss on the far wing. Cuss hands it off to Love. Love back on the far side for Agbasi. 30 seconds to go. Estrada fakes the three. Tries to drive top of the key. Nothing there. Hands it back off. Far side for Rhodes. Rhodes on the wing for Agbasi. 22 seconds to go. Estrada, big three. That one's way off. Rebound off the heel of the rim by Jackson Kyle. Tigers will just casually walk it up the floor. Up 16-2 with 10 seconds. McConnell between the circles. Finds Diorio in the high post. Diorio hands it off to Jackson. Jackson slings it to McConnell underneath for Browning. Browning's layup is off the mark. Rebound by Diorio, but they can't get rid of the ball before the buzzer. Tigers have a 16-2 lead after one on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Tigers lead by 2 touchdowns as we start the second quarter, brought to you by Kuski Oil Company, fuel transport, propane, and farm delivery to serve all your farm needs at 970-886-2121. 16-2, Tigers in front by 14. Vaco back into the ball game on the wing, finds Harivnak. Harivnak with the give to Agbasi. Agbasi crossover drive into the lane off of Diorio. He flings one up, it swirls the bowl, and Jackson Kyle finds his 5th rebound. David Agbasi is 0 for 4 from the floor tonight. 7:37 on the clock. McConnell finds an opening, kicks it out near side. The three from Caleb Schaefer rattles off the hands of Dylan Diorio and is controlled by the Miners as Stockton Rhodes gets his second board. He'll take the feed into the lane, goes off the window and in. Stockton Rhodes finally finds the inside of the basket. 16-4, Tigers in front by a dozen. On the near side in the front court is Dylan Diorio, waiting for Hrivnak to come engage him defensively. Schaefer back to Diorio. Diorio between the legs, gets it to McConnell. McConnell near half court, moves to his right, fakes the pass inside, gets it to Schaefer on the wing. Schaefer looking inside, nothing there for Jackson, so instead he goes to Ryder at the top of the key. Ryder misses the three. Rebound by Schaefer, putback won't go, and then Nathaniel Estrada comes away with the board on that one. Far side, Vaco from the corner for three. He hits it on the fast break offense for the Tigers, or excuse me, for the Miners. 16-7, Sterling in front by 9. 6:25 to go. Jackson Kyle on the wing, hands it off to McConnell. Up top, Diorio on the near side now for Schaefer. Schaefer gives it off to Dillon. Dillon drives to the free throw line. Back on the wing now for Jackson. Jackson with the give to Ryder on the left wing. Ryder back over to Dillon. Wide open look for three from the far wing. Dylan Diorio splashes home the tray, and the Tigers have a 19-7 lead with 6 minutes on the clock here in the second. Agbasi up top for Rhodes. Rhodes hands it off to Hrivnak. Hrivnak scoops it into the hands of Vaco. Vaco again from the far corner for three. Ball off the mark. Agbasi gets a hand on it, and it ends up out of bounds. Ray Swenson in for Radek McCracken now. Dylan Diorio will inbound from the near corner. Since 1915, Pete's Farmers Co-op has been on Highway 113 in Pete's. To get all your animal feed and livestock supplies, call 970-334-2204. 5:40 on the clock, 12-point lead for Sterling. Jackson trying to gallop his way into the paint, gets swatted on his way to the basket. And Nathaniel Estrada picks up his second, team's second. With 5:38 on the clock here in the second, ball will be inbounded to Schaefer in the near corner. On the wing now for McConnell, feeds it in to Jackson Kyle, and another offensive foul on the Tigers, an illegal screen on Dylan Diorio. Another Tiger turnover, their fourth of the ball game. Next time you're on I-76, hop off at exit 66A in Wiggins for a gem of a place. Stubbs Gas and Oil for all your food, gas, and auto supplies on your next road trip. Low post feed intended for Stockton Rhodes, and Caleb Schaefer, a tad too aggressive trying to get the steal, is going to pick up his first foul, team's third. 5:27 on the clock in the second. Tigers up 19-7. Cuss will trigger it in on the high post, left side for Hrivnak. Over the top of Diorio, off the window, in and out it goes. Dillon goes up the ladder and gets rebound number 8. Ethan Hrivnak 0 for 3 so far in this one. 5:16 on the clock. Far sideline now for Swenson. Swenson bounces it up top as he skips it to Diorio. Skip pass intended for Ryder McConnell, and McConnell zigged when he should have zagged. Ball stolen away by Max Vaco. Vaco into the lane, too strong off the heel of the rim. Dylan Diorio's got the rebound. He's trapped on the baseline. Bounces it to Swenson. Swenson to Schaefer. Baseball pass to McConnell on the near wing. Fakes the three. Drives inside. Back to Swenson up top for three. The splash. Bray Swenson hits the three. Tigers on another Dylan Diorio rebound, his 9th of the contest, able to build their lead to 22-7. Vaco with the give to Hrivnak. Hrivnak on the far side, intended for Rhodes. Ball saved on the far sideline by Vaco. Feed inside goes to Rhodes. Rhodes scoops it off the glass. Ball off the mark. 10th rebound of the contest for Dylan Diorio. On the near wing now is Diorio. Back up top for McConnell. Far side to Swenson. Bray looks to cut it inside. Nothing there. Up top, McConnell for three straight away. Off the heel of the rim. Schaefer fights for the rebound and loses the basketball as it's scooped up by Vaco on the steal. Caleb Schaefer with his second offensive rebound. Cuss with the jumper from 10. It's short. Rebound by Dylan Diorio. That's number 11 in this one. Up the floor, far side is McConnell. McConnell to Kyle. Kyle fakes the three, drives inside. Euro step around the defender, and he lays it up and in. Jackson Kyle, 24-7. Tigers with the lead. Kyle's got a game-high 13 points. Vaco from the top, pulls up from the keyhole. It swirls the bowl. Dylan Diorio, rebound number 12. I'm going to run out of spots, and we're not even to halftime. 24-7, Tigers with the lead. Diorio puts on the brakes in the paint, finds Ryder McConnell from the near wing, and Ryder hits the three. 27-7, Tigers have the advantage. Pass inside for Vaco, guarded closely by McConnell. Left side of the lane, back up top for Hunter Love. Love for three. Ball misses wide left, ricochets to the right. Jackson Kyle scoops up the rebound. 2:45 on the clock here before halftime. Jackson gets hooked by Cuss. No call by the official. Feed near wing for Swenson. Swenson's three is off the mark. Rebound belongs to Stockton Rhodes. 2:30 clock moving, 27-7. Tigers with a 20-point lead with 2.5 to go before halftime. Love in the near corner on the wing to Rhodes. Rhodes guarded by Schaefer. Back to Love. Love with the give to Vaco. Vaco slices right side of the lane. Fadeaway jumper off the front of the rim. Bray Swenson gets the rebound, loses the basketball as he goes to the floor, but it's picked up by Jackson Kyle. Kyle will walk it up the floor. Down to 2:05 to go. Swenson left side on the wing, up top for Schaefer. Schaefer nearly has it taken away by Love, but he's able to get around Love and get it back. Bounce pass inside. McConnell gets hooked on the arm as he goes for the layup. And Ryder McConnell's going to head to the line to shoot a pair. Our first free throw attempts of the ball game. Stockton Rhodes hit with his first foul. Team's third. Ryder heading to the line to shoot a pair. Bank of Colorado focuses less on finding a loan and more on finding the right fit for you and your finances. Bank of Colorado, there's only one. Member FDIC. Ryder hits the first of his two free throws. Ben Browning will come in for Taleb Schaefer. Stockton Rhodes will head to the bench, so will Vaco, as we see David Agbasi come back in, and a timeout's going to be taken by Sterling. So I believe they're going to... Oh, sorry, the Miners take a 30-second timeout. Some less than ideal body language from the Prospect Ridge Academy Miners as guys look frustrated and despondent on their way to the bench. Most notably Max Vaco, the team's leading scorer, averages almost 18 points a game. He's been held to 5 so far. 1 for 2 from inside the arc, 1 for 2 from outside the arc. Tiger defense has shut him down. This timeout brought to you by Horizon Turf Nursery. For 3 decades, they've provided high-quality sod, so as you plan your future projects, know the finest sod available is on the horizon. Visit HorizonTurfNursery.com. Ryder McConnell will attempt his second free throw opportunity. With 1:53 to go before halftime, and make this a 22-point game. If he connects, he does. Radek McCracken into the ball game, replacing the aforementioned McConnell. That's 8 points for Ryder, 29-7. Tigers lead it by 22. Vaco will jog up the floor. Far side to Love on the wing. Love bounces it inside, intended for Agbasi. Stolen away by Dylan Diorio, but he cannot keep it in bounds. But it'll go off of Agbasi. So the turnover committed by the Miners, and Agbasi tells his coach, yeah, I got a fingertip on it before it went out of bounds. Coach Scott Itten not happy with the situation. His team down 29-7 with 1:36 before halftime. On the near wing now is Swenson. Swenson with the feed to Diorio, and Diorio a little stutter step before he drove inside. He picked up both feet, put them both on the floor, and did not establish the dribble. 29-7. Tigers in front. They've committed 7 turnovers in this half for a team that averages just shy of 8 turnovers a game. Vaco again misdirected by Bray Swenson, again off the mark. Jackson Kyle comes down with rebound number 7. He's 3 boards away from a double-double. And a carry called by Jackson Kyle on the far side. So the Tigers have turned the ball over 8 times in this half, but their defense has more than made up for it as they've held Prospect Ridge Academy to just 7 points through the first 15 minutes of this half with 1:05 to go. Love to Agbasi. Agbasi lobs it inside, intended for Vaco, and he airmails Vaco out of bounds. It's just the 5th time in this half that Prospect Ridge Academy's turned the ball over. They've actually played a little more efficiently in terms of protecting the basketball, but their shooting efficiency has been absolutely abysmal. 53 seconds on the clock. Jackson with the give to Dillon off the screen for 3. It's off the heel of the rim and right into the hands of Alec Harivnak. Dillon's 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. Harivnak from the top of the key. He's short. Jackson's got rebound number 8. 35 seconds to go. Jackson Kyle. Nice crossover move. Feeds it into Diorio underneath the basket. Tries to reverse it off the window. It won't go. Rebound for Hunter Love. Love quickly up the floor. Puts on the brakes at the top of the key. Hands it off to Kuss. Kuss back up top for Harivnak. 19 seconds to go. And Harivnak expecting Kuss to cut inside from the wing. Never got him there, and he lobs another pass out of bounds. Sub in as Stockton Rhodes will replace Alec Harivnak. Jackson Kyle will inbound. Ryder McConnell is in for Radek McCracken. 16.9 seconds to go. We've got another game after this. We're not covering that game, but there will be a second game tonight as number 15 Eaton takes on number 18 Colorado Springs Christian for the right to face the winner of this game tomorrow at 1 p.m. 10 seconds to go before the half. Browning, skip pass inside Diorio underneath the basket. Back to Jackson on the wing. Kyle from 18 puts it up, puts it down. Jackson Kyle, a highly contested 3, hits it right before the buzzer, and the Tigers lead 32-7 at the half. Halftime show up next on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back inside Wally Post Gymnasium at Sterling High School, the Tigers running away with this one, up 32-7 at the half, a 25-point lead. Our halftime show brought to you by Ice Lanes. Whether you're a league bowler, a casual bowler, or you want to celebrate a birthday with the kiddos, do it at 208 North 10th Avenue in Sterling, online at icelanes.com, or give them a call and reserve your lane at 522-3331. And it's all Tigers in this one with a 25-point lead. They led by 14 after a quarter of play, up 16-2 after the first 8 minutes of game action. outscored Prospect Ridge Academy 16-5 in the second quarter to lead 32-7 at the half. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of those halftime stats. Jackson Kyle, 2 rebounds away from a double-double. Dylan DiOrio is 5 points shy of a double-double. He's already got a dozen rebounds in the contest, and we're only 2 quarters deep. We'll get you all the stats and more coming up on the Eastern Plains Sports Network on our Ice Lanes halftime show in the opening round of the 3A state tournament. Tigers up 32-7 over Prospect Ridge Academy on 105.7 KPMX. Back at Wally Post Gymnasium at Sterling High School as our Ice Lanes halftime show continues. Taking a look at some first half stats. All Sterling in this one, up 32-7, led by Jackson Kyle's 16 points. Ryder McConnell behind him with 8, 5 tonight for Dylan DiOrio and 3 for Bray Swenson. Meanwhile, the Prospect Ridge Academy Miners got 5 points out of Max Vaco. Their leading scorer all season long, averages almost 18 points a game. He's currently sitting at 5. Stockton Rhodes, the 6'1 junior, with 2 points in the opening half. The Prospect Ridge Academy Miners, the 31 seed in this bracket, 2 for 12 from inside the arc in the opening half, 1 for 4 from three-point range, and no opportunities from the free throw line. They rebounded the ball just 8 times in the first 2 quarters. Sterling, 6 for 8 from inside the arc, 6 for 16 from beyond the arc, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and 25 rebounds for the Tigers in that first half. Dylan DiOrio with 12, Jackson Kyle with 8. Jackson's 2 boards shy of a double-double. Dylan DiOrio 5 points away from a double-double as well. Expect to see a handful of bench players for Sterling as this one goes on in the second half. Sterling up 25, 32-7 our score as they make their way out of the locker room. The Miners on their way back from the locker room as well. We'll take one more quick break, and when we come back, we'll get you ready for quarter number 3. Sterling 32, Prospect Ridge Academy 7 at the half on 105.7 KPMX and Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back at Wally Post Gymnasium as the Sterling Tiger Pep Band entertains the crowd, joined by members of the Sterling Middle School Band as well tonight. I know this because my 8th grader is a part of the band here at Wally Post tonight, and they're doing a fantabulous job. We're ready for the third quarter. Tigers up 32-7. Our third quarter brought to you by Country Creations and Country Feed and Supply. They've got clothing, feed, and supply, and now food for you and your family. Locally grown and processed beef and pork, all at County Road 24 and Highway 6 in Sterling. Tigers with a 25-point lead look poised to advance to the Sweet 16 for yet another year. Tigers have been in 7 straight Sweet 16 games, looking to make it 8 in a row. They've also made it to 5 consecutive Final Four appearances. If you go all the way back to Sterling's time in 4A, this is their 16th consecutive appearance in the state tournament. As Dylan DiOrio will have possession of the basketball to start this third quarter. He'll inbound from the far sideline. Tigers will move left to right on your radio dial. Jackson Kyle takes it on the wing, drives inside, bounces it to Swenson on the near wing. Browning's pass swatted and stolen away by Vaco. Vaco quickly up the floor, goes coast to coast, scoops it up, scoops it in. Max Vaco gets the steal and the bucket, and the Tigers give up the quick points, up 32-9. Ryder McConnell will push it up the floor quickly. McConnell to DiOrio on the near side now for Jackson, working near the sideline. He'll move to his left in the front court. Far side, Swenson off the wing. Back on the near side now for Jackson. Jackson driving in off the elbow, takes it strong to the hoop, lays it up off the glass. Doesn't get the bucket, but draws the foul. And will head to the line to shoot a pair. He was fouled by Nathaniel Estrada. That's Estrada's third. Team's first of this second half. Jackson, the leading free throw shooter for Sterling this season, eyes the first of 2, and it kicks in and out. Stockton Rhodes will come in and replace Nathaniel Estrada. Tigers are now 2 for 3 from the free throw line as Jackson tries to make it 3 for 4. Kyle eyes the shot and gets it to drop. 17 points for Jackson. Tigers lead at 33-9. As the ball will be pushed up the floor by Vaco. They give to Cuss. Quick turnaround near side to Harivnak. Harivnak hands it off to Agbasi. Agbasi up top now for Rhodes. Back on the wing to Harivnak for 3 from the near wing. It's in and out. Fight for the rebound. Jackson Kyle comes away with his knife. Jackson up the floor. Across half court on the near side. In the corner for Brace Swenson. Brace for 3. Brace got another one. He's got 6, and the Tigers lead at 36-9. Vaco up the floor, bounces it off his own shin, skips it back up. Rivnak hands it back off to Vaco inside the arc, pulls up from 10, knocks it down from 10 on the far side of the baseline. 36-11. Sterling still in front by 25. McConnell trapped in the backcourt, away to DiOrio. Bounce pass to Swenson in the far corner. Back around to DiOrio, to McConnell, to Kyle. Kyle on the near wing, up top for Ryder. Ryder fakes the 20-footer, has it popped out of his hands. Vaco on the breakaway, takes it to the hoop, and Ben Browning reaches in and draws the foul on Vaco. Ben Browning picks up his second foul, team's first. 2 shots for Max Vaco, who gets another steal. I believe that is his third of the contest. He rattles in the first of 2. Don't take your comfort for granted. Keep your home heating systems inspected and maintained this winter. You're going to get some cold temperatures this weekend. Call 970-522-0471. Vaco can't get the second shot to go. Dylan DiOrio out battles everybody for the rebound, and he gives it off to Jackson Kyle. 36-12, Tigers by 24. 6:15 on the clock here in the third. DiOrio bounces it to McConnell on the near wing, hands it off to Browning near side. Browning for 3, yes sir! Ben Browning hits his first bucket of the night. 39-12, Tigers build on their lead. Agbaso, drive. Off the right elbow, nearly has his pocket picked, gets it back. Love will take it at the top of the key. Far side to Rhodes on the near wing now for Vaco. Vaco lobs it inside. Rhodes bounces it back to Love on the near side. He'll fling it back over to Agbasi on the wing. Agbasi in the corner for Cuss. Cuss driving baseline. Jackson Kyle in his face. Shot blocked by Kyle. Scooped back up by Cuss. Up top for Agbasi. His three's off the mark. Brace Swenson up the ladder gets the rebound. Rebound is on Stockton Rhodes. That's his second. Cuss gets credit for the rebound, but the missed three from Agbasi gives the Tigers possession, up 39-12 after the foul by Rhodes. Far side, McConnell nearly has it swatted away by Vaco. Near side for Browning. Browning in the corner now to Diorio. Back up top for Ryder. Fakes the three, spins away from Vaco, dumps it to Diorio. He'll drive to the hoop, strong to the bucket. Dylan Diorio. An aggressive move inside, wanted a foul on the swap, doesn't get it. 41-12, Tigers in front, 5 minutes to go. Browning working against Rhodes on the baseline, gets it away to Agbasi. He drives inside, splits the double team, and goes to the hoop. David Agbasi finds his first bucket. 41-14, Tigers in front of that palindrome score. Diorio with the handoff to Jackson Kyle. Kyle with the give to Browning. Browning pulls up from the wing, tries the three. It's off the mark. Agbasi's got the rebound. That's his first. Ben is just 1 for 5 from beyond the arc here in half number 2. Agbasi driving inside, tries to scoop one, has the ball scooped out of his hands. Tigers get the takeaway, but then it's taken right back by the Miners. Ball lost in the lane by Love, and Sterling will get it back once again. On the near side is Swenson. Back to the far side of the front court. Kyle bounces it inside to Bray. Bray has it swatted from behind, gets his own rebound. Back to Diorio, far corner for three. Yes, sir! Dylan Diorio with the double-double off the assist from Bray Swenson, and the Tigers have a 44-14 lead, up by 30. And a timeout taken by Sterling. They will burn a 30-second timeout. Bray Swenson had his shot blocked by Agbasi underneath the basket. Swatted right back into his own hands. And he dishes it to Dylan Diorio in the far corner, who hits the bucket from beyond the arc, getting him to 10 points and a dozen. Checked out a Baker's dozen rebounds. 13 boards and 10 points for Dylan Diorio, the double-double tonight. Our coverage of Sterling Tiger postseason basketball brought to you by Horizon Turf Nursery. For 3 decades, they've provided high-quality sod, so as you plan your projects for the upcoming spring, know the finest sod available is on the horizon at horizonturfnursery.com. Half-court defense put up by the Tigers as Vaco sprints it across the timeline. Vaco with the give to Cuss on the near wing to Agbasi. Back up top for Rhodes. Rhodes hands it off to Cuss on the wing. Cuss working against Kyle. Banging into the lane. Kyle deflects the shot. Diorio gets his 14th rebound. Jackson Kyle with his third block of the ball game. Inside, drives into the lane. Strong to the hoop. Give him the hoop and the harm. Jackson Kyle goes toe-to-toe with Hunter Love in the paint, and he's got a chance at a three-point play. Hunter Love picks up his first. That'll be team's third. B&J Plumbing offers hot water heating repairs, sump pumps, new construction work, clogged drains, or general plumbing services, and they've done it all since 1961. Call 970-522-3828. Kyle surveys his free throw opportunity, puts it up, and it's short off the front iron. Just 1 for 3 from the charity stripe tonight is Jackson Kyle. Cuss gets the rebound for the Miners. Far side, Vaco from the wing. 3 is off. Agbasi with the rebound. He'll put up the 3. It's off the mark. Bray Swenson gets the rebound and gets sandwiched between a pair of defenders. Foul is on Stockton Rhodes. That's going to be his third. 46-14, Tigers in front. Jackson takes the inbound in the far corner. Baseball pass to Browning over the center of the court. Ben near side DiOrio puts on the brakes. Back over to Browning in the corner. Swenson to Browning. Browning to Kyle in the front court. Back on the near wing. Now go the Tigers as that motion offense works outside the perimeter. Swenson near the 10-foot line of the volleyball court on the near side near his own bench. Back to Jackson. Kyle far side. Ball is loose on the floor. It's picked up by Agbasi, and he scoops it up on the floor, and a timeout taken by the Miners before Agbasi committed the travel violation laying on the floor. Tigers commit their second turnover of the quarter, their 10th of the ball game. 30-second timeout used by Prospect Ridge Academy. Sterling in front by 32, up 46-14, as they've outscored Prospect Ridge 14-7 here in quarter number 3. Timeout brought to you by Rudy's Tires, your one-stop on-the-spot tire headquarters with 9 locations across the plains. Online at rudystires.com. Pretty solid crowd here at Wally Post Gymnasium tonight for this opening round of the 3A state tournament. Tigers the 2 seed, welcoming in the 31 seed Prospect Ridge Academy Miners. Sterling into the Sweet 16 tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, barring the most epic of meltdowns. We'll take on the winner of Eaton and Colorado Springs Christian. That game will come up tonight at 7 o'clock. Eaton Reds in Sterling for the 3rd time in about 2.5 weeks. Tigers saw the Reds on the 15th of February and the 18th of February, and there's a very real possibility they'll see them again on the 5th of March tomorrow afternoon. Cuss will take the inbound after the timeout in the backcourt. Now moves it across the timeline at the top of the key on the near wing. Vaco gets a wide open look for 3, and it goes off the heel of the rim over the top of the backboard and out of bounds. Max Vaco is 1 of 4 from beyond the arc in this one. Full court pressure put on by the Miners. DiOrio up the floor. Skip pass across half court to Jackson Kyle. Hands it off to McConnell near the 10-foot line. Ryder scoreless in the second half. Has 8 points. DiOrio on the near wing. Jackson takes the feed on the low post. Back to DiOrio right side. Over to the far side to Ben Browning. Browning's 3 is off the mark. Rebound controlled by Hrivnak. And Hrivnak will get it off to Vaco. Back to Hrivnak, who gallops into the lane, and he hooks the foot of Ryder McConnell, and McConnell comes up a little bit lame. Looks like he may have gotten kicked in the ankle. Brace Swenson's going to pick up his first, team's second. Ben Browning and Dylan DiOrio to the bench. Radek McCracken and Caleb Schaefer come to the floor. Ball brought in by Andrew Cuss into the near corner for Hrivnak. Up top for Agbasi on the far wing now for Cuss. Cuss driving on the elbow. Back up top for Vaco. Vaco drives. Reverse scoop blocked by Ryder McConnell and knocked out of bounds. Ryder McConnell picks up his second block of the contest. Jackson Kyle, I believe, has got 3 blocks as well. Some words exchanged between Caleb Schaefer and David Agbasi. Cuss lobs it to Agbasi on the free throw line. Pivots away from McCracken into the lane, and an offensive foul on Stockton Rhodes as he shoved Caleb Schaefer, who was trying to peel off and help defensively. That's the 4th foul of the night on Rhodes. Team's 5th, and another turnover for the Miners. Under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd. Tigers up 46-14. Jackson Kyle looks to get it to McConnell, but it's picked off by Vaco. Vaco lobs it to Agbasi. Agbasi tries to tip it in. He can't get it to go, and the ball goes off of a Tiger and out of bounds. Tigers commit their 3rd turnover of this quarter. An uncharacteristic ball game. Sterling has committed 11 turnovers. They average just under 8. They've played some sloppy basketball, but they lead it by 32. Over the top of Swenson goes Alec Hrivnak off the inbound, and he'll dump it over the top to get it to a 30-point ball game, 46-16. 90 seconds to go. Jackson Kyle lobbing it far side. Swenson back to Schaefer. Schaefer bounces it to the 10-foot line for Jackson Kyle. Kyle feeds it to McConnell near side for three. It swirls the bowl. Fight for the rebound. It's loose. Picked up by McCracken. Back to McConnell inside the lane. Swirls around. Lays it in. Ryder McConnell off the rebound by Radek McCracken. And the Tigers lead at 48-16. Under 60 seconds to go. And an offensive foul called on Andrew Cuss as he just picked up the basketball, lowered his shoulder, and buried it into the chest of Jackson Kyle. Scott Itten, the head coach for the Miners, has now taken his suit jacket off. He wants an explanation from the official that made the call. That official is on the far side of the court and in the corner and has no intention of making his way across the court. Third turnover of the quarter, 9th of the ball game for Prospect Ridge. McConnell in the near corner, back near side for Jackson. Jackson back to Ryder in the near corner. Ryder lobs it back to Jackson. Jackson driving, kicks it, far side. Swenson for three. He's got the touch. 9 points for Brace Swenson off the assist from Jackson Kyle. 51-16. Tigers with a hefty 35-point lead as the clock runs with 24 seconds to go. Vaco runs into McConnell, nearly lost the basketball. 18 seconds on the clock. Agbasi back to Vaco. He'll take it inside. Shot blocked again by McConnell, his third. It's picked up by Radek McCracken, and Radek McCracken trying to get out of the triple team. Gets hit with the travel violation. Tigers still have a 35-point lead. If they can keep it at 35 points, going into the fourth quarter, the clock will run throughout the fourth. 9 seconds on the clock. Harivnak with the short jumper. It's off. Jackson Kyle's got rebound number 10. He's got a double-double. Jackson up the floor with 3 on the clock. Puts it up off the glass. Kicks in and out. And the third comes to a close with Sterling up 51-16. A 35-point lead going to the fourth on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back inside Wally Post Gymnasium, the Tigers have a 51-16 lead over the Miners as we start our fourth quarter, brought to you by Better Electric. Whatever your electricity needs are, it runs everything. Contact Better Electric, 970-521-1030. They even offer 24/7 emergency services. Ball will belong to the Prospect Ridge Academy Miners to open up the fourth quarter. 35-point lead, so the clock should run throughout the duration of this fourth quarter. Only stopping for timeouts, injuries, and free throws. Harivnak with the give to Hunter Love near the 10-foot line. Dishes it far wing for Estrada. Lobs it into the low post now for Harivnak. Hands it off to Vaco, driving baseline. Nifty move, tries to go around the defense. Radek McCracken's got the rebound. That's his third. Vaco comes up empty on another one. He's slow to get up. Limps his way up the floor. Now back in position defensively. Caleb Schaefer into the ball game for Sterling. Far side, Swenson in the corner, lobs it back to Caleb. Caleb bounces it on the skip pass to Jackson Kyle at half court. Jackson weaving his way into traffic, finds Swenson far corner for three. Yes, sir! Third Tiger in double figures. Check that, fourth Tiger in double figures. Bray with 12, Dylan DiOrio with 10, Jackson Kyle with 19, and Ryder McConnell with 10. 54-16, Hrivnak. Trapped on the wing by Swenson. Pass for Estrada. Swatted away by Schaefer and out of bounds off of Schaefer. Ball will stay with the Miners. Sterling the 2 seed, Prospect Ridge the 31 seed, and you're seeing the disparity between the two right now. Sterling with a 58-point advantage. Ball in the lane, taken away by Caleb Schaefer as he gets the steal. First turnover of the quarter by Prospect Ridge, their 10th of the ball game. Schaefer inside the double team, lost the basketball, gets it back to Jackson Kyle. Kyle drives, kicks it out. Swenson from the corner for 3 again. It swirls the bull. Radek McCracken chasing down the rebound, and it goes off of his hands as he gets hip checked by Nathaniel Estrada. It will roll out of bounds. Ball belongs to Prospect Ridge. Hrivnak to the bench. Andrew Kuss, the senior captain, back on the floor. He'll take the inbound. Kuss, who averages 13 points a game, has been held to none. Kuss on the near wing now for Love. Bounces it to Agbasi, and Agbasi traveled trying to back his way into Jackson Kyle. Jackson will walk it towards the timeline with 5.5 on the clock. Up 54-16, trapped on the far side to Swenson. Lobs it back to Kyle. Kyle in the front court, splits the double team, and he's swatted on the reach in by Andrew Kuss. That's his second. Team's 6th. Check that, team's 7th, so a 1-and-1 opportunity for Jackson Kyle. As we get ready to head into spring, you're going to need some maintenance and work on your lawn. Now offering landscaping services, called Champ Construction in 970-571-1669. Everything you need to improve the place you live. A 60-second timeout used up by the Prospect Ridge Academy Miners with 5:05 to go in the ball game. Sterling in front 54-16. 4 Tigers in double figures in this contest. Bray Swenson with 12 points for the second time in as many ball games. He went 4 of 5 against the Resurrection Christian Cougars in the Patriot District Championship. He was our player of the game in a game when Sterling was struggling to score and was without Jackson Kyle for 7 minutes in the first half. Bray Swenson went 4 of 5 from beyond the arc to pick up 12 points to be the second leading scorer in that ball game. Tonight he's got 12. Dylan DiOrio's got 10 points, 14 rebounds. Jackson Kyle 19 points, 10 rebounds. Ryder McConnell with 10 points in this one. Jackson with a free throw opportunity here on the 1-and-1 to get himself to 20 points, which would match his per game average. He averages just shy of 21 a game. And he's got it nothing but net on the first 20 points for Jackson Kyle. A 39-point lead for the Tigers, up 55-16. Jackson with his second opportunity puts them both down. 21 points for Kyle. 40-point lead for the Tigers, 56-16. 5 minutes on the clock. Agbasi working against Kyle, tries to drive inside, finds Kuss at the top of the key. His three's off the mark. Caleb Schaefer goes up the ladder, gets the rebound. Andrew Kuss 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. 4:45 on the clock as Ryder McConnell walks it near the timeline, lobs it in the far corner for Swenson. Back across near side for Kyle. Kyle to give to McConnell. Bounce pass, far corner. Swenson again, this one off the heel of the rim. Ball is loose. Hunter Love's got the rebound. Love with the quick feed to Vacco. Vacco pulls up from 10. That one's off the front iron. Jackson Kyle with rebound number 11. 4:20 on the clock. Bray Swenson was 4 of 5 against Rez. He's 4 of 8 in this one. Ball stolen away by the Miners. Rebound by Kuss. Puts Caleb Schaefer on the floor as he lays it in. No call on the knockdown of Schaefer. Tiger faithful wanted a charge called on the much bigger Andrew Cuss. Did not get the whistle. Ball rolled into the hands of Swenson. Swenson to Kyle, who lobs it down low for McConnell. He'll feed Radek McCracken in the paint, and Radek McCracken battles against Max Vacco. McCracken gets the bucket and the foul. Vacco picks up his first. Radek heads to the line to shoot an and one opportunity. Nathaniel Whitehead replaces Ryder McConnell. Ben Browning in for Jackson Kyle. Tigers are going to start emptying the bench, up by 40 with 3:29 on the clock. Jackson Kyle, I believe, ends the night with 4 blocks as Radek cannot hit the free throw, and the rebound is pulled down by Hunter Love. Love gives it off to Cuss. Cuss up top for Agbasi. Agbasi on the cutter inside to Vacco. Has it blocked by Nathaniel Whitehead, and it's taken by Caleb Schaefer. Vacco struggling from the floor in this one. Nowhere near his 17 points per game. Browning in the front court. Lobs it into the far corner. Whitehead on the wing now for Swenson. 3 minutes on the clock as it moves. Browning drives into the paint. Finds McCracken. McCracken from 8 feet out hits the short jumper. Radek McCracken's got 4 points. Tigers lead it 60-18. Agbasi working against Browning. Finds Vacco on the near wing. Vacco trying to direct traffic. Guarded by Nathaniel Whitehead. Bounces it left side of the lane. Tigers with the double team and Agbasi. Back to Vacco inside. Vacco gets fouled on his way to the hoop. Believe it's going to be on Brace Swenson. Check that. That is Nathaniel Whitehead who gets tagged with his first. 2 free throws for Max Vacco, who's 1 for 2 from the line tonight. LEAP is the low-income energy assistance program. They can help you make ends meet by paying for your heating bill this winter. Vacco misses the first of 2 free throws. Call LEAP at 970-522-2194 and get an application in the mail today. Colin Lynn's into the ball game. Wesley Knuppel into the game as well. Looks like Wyatt Milburn checks in also. Vacco misses the second free throw, and the rebound belongs to the aforementioned Colin Lynn. Bounce pass near side for Whitehead, who gets away from pressure. Whitehead puts on the brakes in the lane, tries to find Lynn, instead gets it to Schaefer. Schaefer has a shot blocked by Vacco. Ball's rebounded by the Miners. Ball lost by Love, and the Tigers will scoop it back up and take it the other way. Whitehead trapped near side by the double team, and he went over and back at the half-court line, turning it back over. Tigers with a 42-point advantage, 1:43 to go. Clock still moving. Vacco on the wing for Estrada. He'll put up the 3. It's off the heel of the rim. Chased down far side by Nathaniel Whitehead. Whitehead gets it away to Schaefer on the sideline. Schaefer, nice stutter step as he moves his way up the floor on the far side. Ball gets punched out of his hands, and he cannot keep it in bounds. And 5 fresh faces come to the floor for Prospect Ridge. Clock still moving. Bench emptied out by the Academy Miners as Ezekiel Bodie takes to the floor. We'll see Parker Brown come in. Ethan Free is on the floor. Luke Judd and Tyler Brandt. Up top is Bodie. Bodie on the far side to Brandt. Gives it off to Judd. Judd will hand it off on the far side to Brown. Brown in the corner. Gets it away to Brandt. Brandt for 3 off the heel of the rim. Colin Lynn's got rebound number 2. 43 seconds to go. The freshman Lynn up the floor. Feeds it to Schaefer on the far sideline. Taleb with the give to Whitehead. Whitehead, check that. Knuppel with the give to Milburn. Milburn back to Whitehead at the top of the key. Tigers running their motion offense outside the perimeter. Lob pass far side to Schaefer. 22 seconds on the clock. Tigers are punching their ticket to the Sweet 16 with a big victory here at home against the 31 seed in this 3A state tournament as they wall up the Prospect Ridge Academy Miners. 9 seconds to go. They'll have to inbound it, but Knuppel will just hold on to it here on the near sideline, and this one will come to a close as the Prospect Ridge Academy Miners see their season come to a close. Tigers 60, Prospect Ridge Academies 18. This has been the opening round of the 3A state tournament from Wally Post Gymnasium. Postgame show up next on 105.7 KPMX and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Back at Wally Post Gymnasium at Sterling High School, the Tigers come away with a big victory in the opening round of the 3A state tournament. They down the Prospect Ridge Academy Miners by a final of 60-18. Our postgame show and our all-regional tournament team is brought to you by Advanced Agri-Solutions. Since 2009, they've been balancing your field, seed, feed, and water one field at a time. Call Dusty or Roxy to get started on a customized plan for success. Call 970-571-2024 or visit advancedagrisolutions.com. Tigers got 4 players in double figures tonight, led by Jackson Kyle's 21 points. Brace Swinson finishes with 12, 10 points apiece for Dylan Diorio and Ryder McConnell. A pair of double-doubles, 10 points, 14 rebounds for Dylan Diorio, 21 points, 11 rebounds for Jackson Kyle. An absolutely dominant performance. Those two guys will find themselves most likely on our all-regional tournament team this weekend. What a way to start this 3A state tournament here at home as the Tigers look to prove that they're on a mission for another state title in the final season for head coach Mike Holloway. Tomorrow will mark the last home game for Mike Holloway here at Wally Post Gymnasium after an illustrious career. 369 career wins after that victory tonight. And the Tigers will face either Eaton or Colorado Springs Christian. Those two teams on the floor warming up for their game, which is slated to start momentarily at 7 o'clock. Our players of the game brought to you by Gordon Insurance, mitigating risk in every aspect of your life. Gordon Insurance offers top-rated carriers at prices you can afford. 970-526-6139 or online at in person at 931 West Main Street in Sterling. We mentioned them already. Jackson Kyle, Dylan DiOrio, exceptional work both offensively and defensively. 21 points, 11 rebounds for Jackson Kyle, 10 points, 14 rebounds for Dylan DiOrio. DiOrio had he had 10 rebounds. No, he had a dozen rebounds at halftime, finished with 2 more in the third quarter, but Dylan was a monster on the boards tonight. Jackson Kyle got his as well. Those two guys led the way in pretty much dominating the possessions for Sterling in this one, and they run away with the 42-point victory, sending the Prospect Ridge Academy Miners home from this 3A state tournament. As we mentioned, the second game of this regional tournament puts number 15 Eaton against number 18 Colorado Springs Christian. We will not have coverage of that game on the Eastern Plains Sports Network, but one of those two teams will face Sterling tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. My money's on the Eaton Reds, who will try to usurp the Tigers' reign atop the Patriot League and finally get a victory against the Sterling Tigers. Eaton is 0-18 all-time against the Tigers, with a pair of losses in the final week of the regular season and the opening week of the Patriot District Tournament. That would be the third showdown between Sterling and Eaton since the 15th of February. Those two teams will take on one another at 7 o'clock tonight. We'll be back at 1 o'clock tomorrow for the Sweet 16. Sterling for the 8th year in a row in the Sweet 16 showdown in the 3A state tournament. The final in this one, Tigers 62, Prospect Ridge Academy Miners 18 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network.